Welcome to our monthly Pan African roundup on popular struggles and solidarity campaigns. 30th year anniversary of Chris Hani's assassination. On the 10th of April 1993, far-right gunman Janusz Valush shot Comrade Chris Hani in cold blood in the driveway of his home. His actions almost plunged the country in civil war. Valush robbed the Hani family of a father and breadwinner, and he robbed the working class of a genuine revolutionary leader. Comrade Hani was a communist and a visionary who was determined not to compromise on attaining genuine equality for the working class. He was clear about the role of the capitalist system and how all its instruments, including the courts, are used as weapons against the working class and the poor. The legislature, the executive, and the judiciary are all instruments of the brutal capitalist state, and this judgment should be seen in that context.
Because their intelligence was faulty, they thought that I was in the country. They tried to attack the flat where I used to stay, but just a flat away from my own, they attacked, convinced that I was in that flat and killed the locals. So this was a measure of desperation. It was not only in Lesotho. They went across Mozambique and killed refugees, and a few of our comrades, they went into Botswana.
Many people were killed defending the unionist city of Las Anod from separatist Somaliland. 37 people were killed and over 200 injured on the 1st of April while defending Las Anod, the city at the heart of the movement to reunify the region with Somalia, from attacks by the separatist Somaliland army. The fighters defending Las Anod are most former Somaliland soldiers recruited by the SSC region into the army. According to Gareth Mukta, one of the 14 traditional elders of the SS region to whom these fighters report, many of the defenders deserted the army after it turned against the city's civilians. Most of the deaths on the SSC side on the 1st of April were of these fighters on the frontliners. However, at least 4 civilians, including a local council, died in the shelling by the Somaliland's army on the city center and other residential areas. Cecil John Rhodes' racist vision is alive on white-owned farms in South Africa. 121 years after Rhodes' capitalist expansion project laid to the foundation for modern South Africa, black people are still subjected to labor exploitation, to landlessness, and to a racially unequal society. Despite white South Africa making up less than 10% of the population, they continue to hold the majority land ownership at 72%. In contrast, black people, who make up 80% of the population, own less than 5% of land. Most white-owned farms have maintained the racial, paternalistic, and abusive worker-employer relationships that were characteristics of colonialism. The commercial farm reproduces what the economist Clara E. Matei calls the 2 pillars of capital: private property and wage relations. But this is not the realm of free labor as imagined by liberalism. On the contrary, both ownership and wage relations are fundamentally based on the subjection of a racialized working class majority and the history of violence that made a sustained racial and class division. New series on modern China. Pan Africa TV launches a new weekly show, China Now, dedicated to presenting an overview of today's China, how this nation works and thinks, and how the East Asian nation views itself and the world. Book launch: The Building of the Communist Party of Kenya. The text is a 5-year anthology collection of the Communist Party of Kenya's communication, reflections, statements, analysis, and debates, available for purchase on the 10th of April 2023. 17th April, International Day of Peace and Struggles. In the build-up to the 8th International Conference under the slogan, "Faced with the Global Crisis, we build food sovereignty to ensure a future for humanity." La Via Campesina is calling for members to collectively gather and denounce persecution against peasants and to stand up united against the forces that oppress through public demonstration and forums against the ongoing criminalization of peasants.